meeting, Tuesday, May 19th. It is now 3:02. Roll call.
Mr. Engel.
Here.
Mr. Allen.
Here.
Mr. Kynett.
Here.
Mr. Bazinski.
Here.
Mr. Downs.
Here. Well, everybody understands why we're here today, to take a look at the decision that was made last Monday. There's been quite a bit of public feedback on opinions on whether we should open the pool or not. And with the governor coming out on last Thursday saying that public pools could open, I guess we have to rethink our decision here. So I guess the way to look at this is pros and cons. We have received there are 4 letters from the community that were sent to Stacy to be shared at the meeting, and all 4 basically say open the pool up. One talks about chlorine killing the virus. One talks about the homeowners who pay taxes. They fund the park, and the pool losing money, but still, we may have other ways. Once they vote to open, I hope the park board to reconsider their decision. The joy of swimming again in the summer. Everybody got the one from Lance? Chief? So, discussion.
I've got it, Ralph. I just got it.
Well, certainly open this up to discussion, pros and cons, and what everybody's feelings are at this point in time. We do have the list of the guidelines put out by the state of Ohio, responsible restart. Maybe we can start out, if you would like. You're Beth, right? Yeah, okay. If you'd like to comment on any of these, or the mayor on your position on these, maybe we could start with that to get the official.
Well, Beth, you probably could speak because you do the pool inspection to begin with, and so she kind of had the idea of pre-COVID, that's what we call standards and guidelines and so forth. Naturally, this looks, there's quite a bit more here. Some of these are duplications of what is going on in other settings as well. Some of them, to me, would be unique to a pool setting. Some of them look pretty, I don't know how you keep everything, from the idea of taping things on concrete and so forth would be a challenge. But I think our posture of the health department is to help preserve the health and well-being of the community in every way that is public health. And we're trying to find ways to do that as responsible restart begins to get some traction. It's going to be a little bit of a challenge for us too, because this is territory we've never been in. Beth has been in public health for 20 plus years, but she's probably never encountered anything quite like this either. So we, on our side, are trying to take those steps along with everyone else and try to ensure the public health of our community. So with that, maybe Beth, you.
Yeah, well, I've had this is my 3rd pandemic, so we're kind of used to them, but we're not used to orders like we've received right now. Before, everybody still went about business as usual, and you didn't have all these mandates and stuff, so that's something totally new. looking through it, you know, if you look, there's mandatory and then recommended best practices. So that's where you're gonna have the issues, you know, what's mandatory and what's recommended best practices. The swimming pool on a yearly basis does a great job. We usually do one pool inspection per month over there. Plus we also do 2 food inspections on the little snack area. And they've never had anything, they've always been great to work with. You know, anything we've asked them to do, they've repaired, fixed, maintained. So I don't have a problem with anything if they think they can open it and, you know, everybody does the best we can with what we have. I'm good with that. So, you know, it's just, you've read all the social media questions, you know, how are you gonna limit it? How are you gonna, you know, maintain the social distancing, that type of stuff. We do continue to get a lot of calls and questions on that type of stuff, or people calling and turning in people for not social distancing, that type of stuff. And, you know, the problem is there's no way we can mandate, by the time we would get a complaint, you're on to another day anyway. So we usually would just call, say we've had a complainant come out, talk with you that we've had a complaint, this is what's a complaint, what can we do to, you know, try to fix that. So, do you guys have any other questions?
Yes, and thank you, Beth, that's a great perspective.
Thank you.
Over the last few weeks, we've had a few calls along those same lines. You know, someone will make an observation which they think is some sort of non-compliant issue. Ms. Conrad and police chief and our law director and myself, we got together and said, how are we going to handle these? We're basically the same thing, almost like nuisance abatements. If Ms. Conrad feels a complaint, we go out and we try to work with a person to you know, negotiate with them, hey, how can we work here together to get this rectified and abate the nuisance. So we kind of found that same procedure. If there is something that's perceived, then we try to work with whatever entity it would be. In this case, it would be the pool personnel, and saying, okay, here's make a recommendation here, here's a way you can improve this. And Beth would be very good at that. She works well with people. She's been in food inspection forever. She comes from a business background. So the idea is not to try to hammer somebody, it's trying to help them to be compliant as possible with these orders that have been sent down. So that's the way we handle it. Then if someone, you know, decides they're not going to be compliant, then eventually after some documentation and so forth, that would be handed over to the law director, and it's up to him to take it from there. So that gives you no idea from our standpoint how the health department, because we, in the city of Shelby, we handle everything within our jurisdiction, not the Richmond County Public Health.
Okay. My only comment is under the mandatory section, I don't see anything where it would have a problem other than poor Jordan. We're asking you once again to maintain the social distancing of these people down there. You guys have got so much to do, and what I'm concerned with is your lifeguards. Are they gonna be maintaining 6-foot distance with people, or are they gonna be watching people in the pool to see if we have somebody not coming back up when they're in the...
Well, they're up on chairs, so they're far enough away from people that I believe, I mean, Beth, you agree?
Yeah.
Being up on
They're
chairs.
usually up in the chairs, so.
Yeah. They're up in chairs, so that doesn't really, the only negative thing is how are we gonna maintain, how are we going to make sure they're staying 6 feet apart in the pool? Because I'm not gonna have my lifeguards
Well, I
try
don't
to
think
figure
inside
that
the
out.
pool as much as.
Outside's not horrible, we can tape or paint or do whatever we need to do.
I think it's more, in the pool, they're gonna expect them to get close, they're gonna
Okay.
splash in the chlorine and stuff. It's more outside when they're sitting and they're just kinda
Yeah,
hanging out.
I think we'd have to really
Like on a break or that type of
strategically look at where we put our benches, where we put our, I mean, I think it's feasible to do, but.
You feel comfortable with it that?
Yeah, it'll take some extra work,
Well,
but,
like they don't want, if you have a spot, say you marked off spots where this could be here, you got 6-foot space, there's more, they don't want more than 10 people in one area, but they want them to be the same family.
Right.
So, which, how I'm ever gonna know whose kids are whose.
Well, that's
not
us
me,
too.
but-
I mean, we'll never
Yeah.
have that either.
So,
But
you know, and like, we're not gonna come out and go, hey, we see all your IDs because, you know, make sure you're.
DNA test.
Right.
So, you know, we're looking to just do the best we can with what we've been given.
yeah, and if
still
we're good with
let-
that, then I
still,
think we'll be
you know, if
okay.
you guys can still let the public enjoy a little bit of summer, you know.
Right.
We're gonna try to work with everybody to make sure that happens, so, you know, but it is your decision. You don't have to worry about us coming in and, you know, you guys need to shut down or something like that, unless there'd be some other health hazard there.
Are you enforcing the limited capacity?
Um,
Because if you do, we'll be maxed out to 60.
Yeah,
Coming in the pool.
I'm probably not gonna come out in here and stand, I'm gonna look and see if it looks like, you
And if
know.
we go 6 feet, you're probably
Yeah,
looking about
they're
60,
probably
70
gonna
on
want
the
you,
pool.
they're probably gonna
bank.
want you to have a system in that you guys allow that 60 in, no more can come in until one leaves. Kinda like the grocery stores and Walmart there, have
It's gonna be a
somebody
nightmare on a
keeping track.
35-degree day, only got 200 people waiting to get in.
Yeah, yeah. And that's what you guys are gonna run into, you know, when it's 90 degrees and it's been 90 degrees for 5 days in a row and everybody's hot and then you're gonna run into, who do you let in? Do you let in the season pass ones first or, you know, you guys got a lot of headaches. My job's gonna be pretty easy compared to yours, so.
Everybody thinks these guys are a nightmare, people want to talk to the pool.
Yeah, so,
But you're probably only gonna get limited about 60 on the bank, if you do 6 feet apart.
yeah,
We don't have that much bank space.
so,
You're saying 60, Jerry,
Well,
for
Beth and I
admission?
talked, if they say you can open with limited capacity, our capacity in the pool is 119.
so that means 50% of that is 60, basically.
So you're gonna put 60 in at a time
In the pool,
in the pool.
yeah, because our capacity for the ground is 519.
But if you have a break
Oh.
and you
Our
got more
capacity
than
for
60
the whole
on
thing
the
is
bank,
what?
519.
you
So-
don't have room for that many on the bank and still maintain 60.
But like, no, but kind of, but the best point is you can have pods of people that do not have to be 6 feet apart. The
Right.
family members, you could have 4, 5, or 6 family members, they don't have to be 6 feet apart themselves, they can be podded together, and then the next group, like restaurants, like, and again, with all this, we all kind of look at this like, just like everybody does in Walmart, right? Everybody stays in pods, no, they don't, but the idea is to stick in these pods, and then 6 feet, just like the restaurants are gonna do, I don't know what that's gonna look like. We're facing the same thing with the pool as the restaurants are gonna face here in a few days. What does that look like when you try to structure tables, and then somebody pulls their table over, hey, I'm gonna sit with, you know, there's just gonna be a lot of decisions, you're gonna have to weave your way through this, bobbing and weaving, and doing your best to keep the disciplines in place.
And we have people in town that, I had a call yesterday that they called on a couple places because people weren't social distancing and so I had to call this place and say, you know, hey, we received a complaint, you're not, you know, do the best you can and that type of stuff. So just be aware that we're gonna get complaints, but if we do, we're gonna call and say, hey, this is a complaint we got. You know, just to let you know we got one.
And it's probably some of the same similar complaints that we talked about to Jordan and say, here's specifically what's been popping up and what can we do about that?
Yeah,
But again, so it's not like you have, excuse me, but I'm saying, it's not like you have this person is 6 feet, this person is 6 feet, you don't have to do it that way. If 3 kids come from the same house, then they can sit together. and
like
eat
when
together.
they're coming into the swimming pool, if they line up, they're gonna want, like if there's a group of them, that's family, whatever, then 6 feet from them, they want you to social distance anywhere on that grounds too, it's not just,
It's coming in, and
Yeah.
a barrier between them and whoever's taking the money. you know.
yeah, they want like, but you guys kind, well, you have, I guess there's, you could put plexiglass or a piece or something up there, cause you got like braiding or something.
You're saying maximum capacity inside is 519?
Correct. Baby pool, all, the inside of the pool is what's the
Inside
119.
the pool.
So
So
what
we
is
could
your
say-
capacity going to be, I think?
So we could say 260.
Is that our capacity? As long as no more than 60 are in the pool, I mean,
I don't know how you control that, that's a,
Well, I don't know,
I don't know
how
either.
I don't know how you control, again, only limiting a certain number, you can count them as a jumping pool, but it's common sense. I think if you look in there and you see the pool is completely full, you're gonna have to thin it out. But I don't think we want a minimum, I don't think we want to set the number for going into the pool at 60,
Well,
into the grounds.
most of the, well, the pool has a certain number it can have in it because of the amount of lifeguards, otherwise you have to have
Correct.
so many lifeguards. So if the pool is 119, you know, maybe what you need to do is if the pool can only hold 60, and so we're gonna let you bring 2 parents with you, so that would bring it up to 180 or whatever for the max. Because a lot of times the parents aren't in the swim with the kids, they might come.
A lot of times their parents don't come with them.
Well, that would be something I would change if they wanna be at the pool this summer, but you guys can do it.
I think that's hard though with people that are going back to work. How do you limit? I
But
think that's hard to do.
Yeah.
How many?
So is the 60 based off of the square footage? And because again, when they said the capacity for 119, they weren't thinking in terms of COVID, right? So it's not one per, I'm just wondering.
119 is for the square footage
Lifeguard,
of
for
the
the
swimming
lifeguards.
pool.
So many people.
For the number of
per square
lifeguards,
feet.
that you don't have 119. But that, I'd just be curious what the square footage would be if you divided it off into little
The
6-foot
the
sections.
swimming pool square footage determined how many bathers you could have. That's where the 119 comes from. The square footage of that swimming
Well, it's not
pool.
necessarily the lifeguards that
No.
rely on that.
No, it's the square footage, and depending on how big that is how many lifeguards you have to have then.
Based, okay. Wonder what that square footage, figure is, that numeric value.
I can go look it up, because I
I mean,
have to.
how many square foot do they allow each swim, I'm just curious.
I have to go look, it has a square footage on our, computer over there that says the square footage of what the pool is.
Because that might give them some guidance, you know, maybe it is 60, maybe it isn't 60. Maybe it's a few more, a few less, I don't know.
Well, it's 50%.
But
on
then wouldn't it have to be the
19, so-
same 60? I
Is
mean,
that what the mandate is? 50%?
Huh?
Is that what the mandate is? 50%?
Yeah, I think it's about 50%, so.
I don't think they have it in here, does
I
it?
Doesn't give a
would say I
percentage,
didn't
it
see
says
I
limit
didn't-
of
it just says
capacity.
limit
Limit
of-
I think people were talking about restaurants that have, might be a rule of
I
thumb.
think you said 50% on it.
Your water, the amount of water surface compared to your deck space. That's the only comparison they had in here. They talked about the deck space.
Yeah, you have to be
And
careful.
they might, we have meetings twice a week on, I might have picked it up from there.
And I think they're wanting to avoid just what we talked about, the parents coming and packing the deck area and their kids are in the water while you may be perfectly fine in the water, but you've got your deck space too tight,
Right.
too close. I think that's what they're trying, you know, I think they're trying to use some common sense. But it may not be the same 60 or 70 in the water each time. Maybe when you have your break, this group goes out and then another group comes in that's on the bank and you maybe do a little rotation. It's gonna take some ingenuity to try to implement this, to include as many as you can.
They want you to, take your pool space and your deck space, and then you would basically have 6 feet of clearance between the users, is what they're saying.
So that includes the pool.
That includes pool and your deck space.
So you do want us to make sure that they're trying to stay 6 feet apart inside the pool.
Well, I think that's how to determine how many users.
Okay.
And again, like I say, brothers and sisters are gonna be full around and then, you know, how it goes and stuff. And
Right, but it does say right here, Mayor Shire, I was reading this exact line right when you said that. You know, swimmers stay at least 6 feet apart from those they don't live with, both in and out of the water.
Yeah, but like I said, who's gonna ever be able
Exactly.
to?
Who's gonna know that?
I think that's on paper.
That's what I said, they were saying it's supposed to be the same family, well, how are we gonna ever know if they're the
Right.
same, you know? That's why we recommended, we were saying if you made a parent have to come with them, or somebody that way, there's somebody that's responsible to make sure that it's that family, not all the kids just coming by themselves.
And we do have some cousins that are living, in this last few weeks,
Yeah,
there's some
someone that are
families that
living
have come together, but there's cousins living together in the same household for financial reasons.
Mm-hmm.
But that's what I mean, that parent would know those people
Yeah.
are living in that house.
Yeah, this is my nephew and niece and this and that.
Yeah.
Jordan, other than really hot days, how many times are there more than 60 or 70 kids in the pool at a time? I think it's very
60 kids and 70 kids inside the pool is probably,
in the water.
yeah, not that often, except
No,
for the really hot
no.
days. I mean, there'll be a lot of people there, but they're laying out or doing whatever, so. Now there are, I mean,
Yeah, a hot day, yeah, it'll,
and there are some days where it's just kind of random, even if it's not a hot day, we're just really busy and we're out with that many people, but.
You also keep the admittance, daily admittance in the pool too, right? As far as into the facility.
At the end of the day, that we, when we're doing the deposits and stuff, we know what our daily limit is, but we don't mark people as they come in.
okay.
No, if we ever get close, we don't usually get close to our 519, but if we do, we'll go out and start counting. And we've closed the gates. I've been the pool manager for like 11 years. I think we've closed it twice. So,
So your chances of it.
are very slim.
You know, the biggest problem you might run into is if all the other pools don't open up, everybody coming over here, it's probably gonna be more of your headache than
Yeah.
just,
And that's what Chief Combs brings up, and the idea of something that, again, these are unprecedented times. Is there a way of, how do you say it, qualifying those who are admitted into the pool? Shelby residents, this is the Shelby pool that's supported by Shelby dollars. Is this the year that you take that extra step and do, and that's not, we do that like our cleaning, our spring cleanup. When we have our spring cleanup in the city of Shelby, they have to actually show a license that they are Shelby residents before we, because that's a service that we're providing as a health department. And so they have to be Shelby
taxpayer
residents.
dollars, you know, so.
yeah.
So they have to show that they're a resident inside, they don't have, Shelby address doesn't, they have to show they're inside the city limits for us to allow them to, you know, use the dumpsters or pick up their brush or whatever.
Because it's at no cost to them. We're taking something, we're providing a service for the Shelby residents with Shelby dollars that are collected. So I think there may be some similarity this year, if you follow that structure, that may be something you could think about implementing.
And you guys probably that work the pool probably know most people anyways. I mean,
We do, yeah.
that's what I mean, you know, the kids all know you because of teaching or whatever, and
Right.
so it's not like, you know, you just want to be careful, that would be my only thing, is if the other pools, Ontario, Mansell don't open, you may get people, well, let's go to Shelby because they're open.
And they may open, I mean,
Shelby
They may
Country Club
reconsider.
is closing their pool, they're not opening it this summer.
Who?
The country club, not opening their pool.
What is our liability
But they're,
in all of this as a front board? I mean, can somebody come back and say, I got this because of you guys, I mean, I'm concerned about, my kids both work for Cleveland Clinic, and I told them that we're gonna have a meeting, perhaps opening the pool, and they both thought I was nuts. Because they get emails every day about how many people are still dying in Cleveland Clinic Hospital. And they're like, Dad, this is not over. I mean, you have to understand, this is not over. And in the last 7 days have been the highest days in Cuyahoga County for single day cases. And they're just like, I mean, I think they're more worried about me.
Yeah, well, but I think the kids, the people that are gonna be there probably are not immunocompromised or have health issues. And if they are, it should be up to them or their parents to make sure they're not coming to that type of place. So, and you wouldn't want those kids going home and maybe to their grandparents' house or something if they have health conditions. So, I mean, he's allowing it to open, but he still wants people to take their own personal responsibility and make sure that you're being as careful as you can. You know, you wouldn't want to go from here to a nursing home with your kids after they've been at the pool all day.
I'm by no means an attorney, nor anywhere close to it, but we run that risk every year when we open up that pool with slips and falls and things like that. They're at their own risk. If they don't feel comfortable being there and they're there, I would say they're as much at fault as the city of Shelby.
I do believe we're bonded through the city as a board, so.
And who could prove where you got it? Who could prove where, you know what I'm saying, that's some of the same theory about churches, well, as long as you can prove that they're not being negligent, I can say, hey, this is from the High Department of Health, isn't it, the governor, this isn't from the city of Shelby, these are their guidelines for opening pools. So apparently they're in the idea that this can be done with protocols in place. And I think if you are showing
That you're trying
that
to do
reasonable,
everything, yeah.
you're doing everything in your power to keep these in place, you have the signage up, you have the reminders, there's no negligence there.
No, well, Mayor, that's correct. Actually, when we made this decision to not open the pool, we were acting under the direction of the state of Ohio. It wasn't our decision. We couldn't, unless we wanted to be a rogue and go completely against the state, that's the only way we were gonna open it.
And then Thursday he changed his mind.
Somebody got some phone calls or something.
Have you talked to any of your staff, any of the lifeguards?
As far as wanting, like, coming back to work,
Like, yeah, if we'd open up, are they willing to?
they are.
Everybody, we would have enough lifeguards?
Yeah, there are a lot of places that are doing like a waiver or a form that they would have to sign, or like we would have to sign as a staff, understanding that we have a risk of contracting it if we're working and that kind of thing, but I've seen several pools that are doing that. We would probably want to do something like that as well.
Jerry, you talk to your guys, I mean, your guys are in the, like us. You're in the age group where it's a little more dangerous for us, so. I know you're not directly involved in the pool, but you guys are gonna be around the pool, you know, it's a clean pool.
Yeah.
So, They need to be on board.
Trying to be careful.
You know, like we would recommend for your employees when they come in the morning, take a temperature check. They don't write the temperature down, but just that it's under 100.4, write their name, check off that it was checked. That way it shows you're doing everything to make sure that they're not.
And that's not hard, that's very simple to do.
Yeah, so those
What
type
about
of
wearing
things.
masks in the pool? That is part of what the guidelines is.
Well, well, the
In the water,
guidance is
but
if
on-
you're kind of within,
I just can't see kids doing that.
No.
no, I don't think
A
it is.
basketball ball in the.
They didn't say it was required though, correct? It was just
It was it's a
recommendation.
suggestion,
I
yeah.
thought it said not to wear them in pool.
not,
No.
not in the pool.
No, and, well, I think they want like the front staff, where they're taking money, they would want them to wear a mask if they could. But it's not workers are supposed to.
That was my question, so your staff, say in the snack bar, and your staff that are not on duty would wear masks?
I would assume probably not,
Oh,
because it's 150 degrees outside and it's
And,
not cool.
and that's where they can get away, they can say because of the heat, there's
Yeah, you have
exemption,
it right
there's
down there.
exemption.
so you're comfortable with that?
Yeah, yeah.
It's
we're-
qualifiers.
Very good.
My biggest, George, you tell me what concerns you have. You're the one that's, you're gonna be,
You're gonna be running.
yeah.
I'm pretty sure that with the staff I have, it's nice that I have lots of adults that work there, so I think that we can do it. And I worry about things like, what is the stipulations with the slide? Can the slide still be up and running because there's chlorines up? Do we need to have a hand sanitizing station at the bottom that they need to, dump their hands in before they go up because they're gonna be touching, just little things like that. Like if we're saying that chlorine is killing it and chlorine is, something that's okay, they're going from the pool to the top of the slide to get back in more chlorine, so is it that big of a deal? Is that something we're gonna need to pay attention to? Same with the diving boards, because they're touching the things going up on the diving board.
Well, I don't think, the management is not a concern. You have total,
Yeah, I'm not worried about us trying to maintain 6 foot, or we can block that off.
our biggest concern is something that you're gonna find difficult to, as far as for day-to-day
We
operation.
may not know what that is yet.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
it's a
think,
learning, it's gonna be
yeah, we're gonna learn as
Every
we
day you're gonna learn a
go,
little bit
kind of
more.
roll the punches. I
But
think
you don't foresee anything that pops out that's.
the only thing I foresee is the numbers issue, how many we're allowed to have in and what it comes to. Are we gonna do passes this year? Do we not do passes at all this year? Do we do a members only couple of hours or a few hours and then open it up to members and community?
That's good.
Like how, you know, we have a break because we have to sanitize every 2 hours or whatever it is. Maybe we break it up, we use that as one of our breaks and everybody leaves during that time. I don't know. I've just kind of been thinking about that too. That might kind of ease the people that choose to buy passes and then people that may come from outside of Shelby City.
Yeah, you make it an open swim, so to speak, you know,
Correct.
such and such a day is open swim, so everybody knows. That's where it's gonna look totally different this summer than summer previous.
Yeah.
But I got a feeling you're not the only one that's dealing with this situation, and you know, you Google things, and it's amazing, you know, what other communities have some really good ideas you can incorporate here.
Right.
But I think our community has to be patient as well, because this is gonna be brand new, if the board should decide, it'd be a brand new way of doing the pool. And it's gonna be a learning exercise, especially the first few days, or maybe a couple weeks. I think you'll get it down to the science.
And if you guys don't open, I'll have to talk to the state about, you've already purchased your pool license for the year, so if for some reason you decide not to and it hasn't opened, we should be able to get a refund back, but they haven't said for sure yet, so.
Also, I'm sorry to speak so much, gentlemen, but just, I think Chief Combs brings up a point. I mean, you could, if the board so choose, you roll this out and say, we're gonna give this a whirl here, you know, we're gonna try this, and if it doesn't work, if people are not cooperating and it's just, you cannot manage it, then you come back and reassess your decision. If everybody knows that from the get-go, that it's in a sense kind of provisional, I think it will work, but if something goes haywire, I think you should say, well, you know, this is a provisional opening, we're gonna take a look at this. And I can't see any reason why I would, but maybe that just gives you an opportunity to reassess. Or if for some reason the numbers go crazy over the next few weeks, you might wanna temporarily close down and then reopen again, but I know that's probably horrific financially though.
Yeah.
I'm the optimist, I'm thinking you can do it, and keep the protocols in place, taking the extra step perhaps, and I don't know, did they say about diving boards or sliding?
You're not allowed to use the, slides or the diving board, I think it says.
No,
And your railing problem.
no, but you know, you got an interesting idea, what if you sanitize, and I think Beth too, I think you could perhaps appeal to the High Department of Health and say, hey, we've got an idea, and they can't pay for everything. So we have an idea that, you know, a sanitizer, anybody goes up the ladder is going to sanitize their hands first, there'll be someone stationed there, and you could ask them, the worst thing they can say is no. But that might be a novel idea that might spread all across Ohio. I don't know about hand sanitizer, and that should not have a problem with that volume of chlorinated water, correct?
They always have enough chlorine and they should be fine.
Yeah, I'm just saying that might be, you could make that appeal to the Ohio Department of Health. Just say, hey,
You know, well, they have recommendations anyways, if a kid poops in the pool, they have to shut down the superchlorinate anyway, so,
yeah.
you know.
I guess my question is, are we're only here on the idea of a decision whether to open the pool, in other words, go back on what we had originally voted on, and open the pool without throwing everything on you, Jordan. It would be up to him to manage it. And I don't think we would want to dictate how he wants to. We did that to him one year with the coolers, or the poor guy was overrun over there. I mean, I think if we just decide whether to open it and let Jordan work with Beth as to what needs to be done, and if he needs any support from the board, we'd certainly be there to help him. But Jerry and Jordan have done this every year without us micromanaging it.
So if they feel comfortable with it.
Yeah, that's why your input is so important, because all we're gonna do is just give the nod, yes or no, and you guys are gonna be the ones that are gonna do it.
Not that anybody wants to hear from me, but I will preface it with, I am a swimmer and I love pools. But on my bean counter hat, obviously we're gonna lose several weeks of the season, and we'll probably have reduced, well, we may not, we may have more people, who knows? But we'll probably have reduced patrons. How much of a loss are you guys willing to take? Do you do anything with pricing or anything this year? Or are you just not worried about that stuff?
I think the board decided 15 years ago that it doesn't make any difference what the pool costs. It is something that we open for the community supports everything we do, and we've never questioned closing the pool for financial reasons. And I think I speak for all of us that has never been a question.
Yeah,
Oh God, we're losing money, never has that been a question.
In the past, we've lost thousands of dollars and never said that that was a reason to.
I think the record was 14,000, to be honest, and we still kept it open.
I
That's
hope I won't run the
immaterial.
pool that year.
You ate up all the profits.
But this guy's made a difference in that, that's why we're looking
Yeah, our heads
so
off to
strongly,
George.
yeah, we're looking so strongly towards him because of what how he's managed it in the past.
Yeah, I think the money would be the least of all the concerns, that would be the dead last one.
Yeah, I mean, the commitment, yes or no, if we open the pool, the cost is gonna be there.
Yeah,
We're gonna have to hire the people, we're gonna have the cost of getting the pool ready and everything like that, that's there. If we can't turn the money, it's just a matter of, I mean, we take that threat every year. If we have a terrible summer and it's cold all summer long and it rains all summer long, nobody's gonna come to the pool, so.
Now, also, let me throw this out, do we consider rentals if we open the pool?
I would say yes, the normal rentals. I think I've already had 15 or 20 people ask me about rentals.
Usually
Still,
they're not that large a group.
usually they're the 15 under,
Yeah.
just the 15, and most of the time they don't reach that high.
How about the community night? Is that a big night? And is that,
Yeah,
and once you set capacity, should that be a concern?
Yeah, community night would be a concern. We float from anywhere from 200 to 300 people on that night. Now, they're not as large as they used to be because the Shelby Foundation doesn't do as much as the advertising as they did before. They kind of post it in our paper and stuff a couple days before, so it stays within the Shelby range. Because our first year, it was all over, and we had people from everywhere coming. Like our first one had like 600 people show up. So we haven't had those numbers, but we would probably have to really, I mean, we could cycle people in, or we could do, if we did it still, we'd have to just really strategically think about it.
That would also be something where we could take into consideration, like break it down over 2 nights and absorb the loss. I mean, in other words, it would cost us a little bit more to do that, but that's not,
First
No,
half
we
the
should not
alphabet
do
or
it.
second half the alphabet.
Yeah,
Whatever,
whatever.
figure out some way to divide the
Yeah.
By
community
ward.
up.
By wards or
Your
something.
Ward 1 and 2, your night's this night, 3 and 4, your night's this night.
And we would never be able to police that, but
It will reduce the number.
it would reduce our numbers. And we
Okay.
can always, like I said, there's always a manager there. So if we hit where we're at our occupancy, we close the gate, and one of us is standing there until somebody else cycles out. So.
Very good.
How do we justify not more than 10 people?
I'm sorry?
If we have a rentals, how do we justify not more than 10 people?
Well, you would do the same as what you're doing there. They could be the groups of the little 10 here, you know. And
You
then
have to separate them
So, well, you would have to try to ask them to do that.
6 feet apart.
So,
Yeah, I mean, it's just social, it's,
Social distancing.
yeah, it's the social distancing, we can't control
It's
that.
aquatic Walmart.
so.
By the time the pool opens, people should be getting used to this. stores.
Yes.
You know, this is how it works, folks.
And
Something may change mandate wise before then too, like they may ease up on some of those things.
like, yeah, like if the numbers stay straight and nothing spiking like it's been pretty plateaued right now, they may go, okay, 25, 50, you know.
Yeah.
They want you to just try to social distance the best you can. I mean, so.
I have it on good authority, if people aren't following the rules or directions of the lifeguards or staff and refuse to leave, the police will respond to those calls as they always have.
Yes, I agree, I mean.
We have a good relationship with them.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
It's,
Okay, further discussion?
I think we've exhausted it.
That's a good thorough discussion.
Jerry,
Jerry,
is
yeah.
there any concerns that you have that you haven't brought up?
Not that I have thought of, I mean, it's how strict you want to follow.
I mean, anything that we need to hear as far as determining, making a decision?
How about the wading pool? As far as keeping people apart, you can't, impossible to keep kids apart.
Our baby pool's not usually the popular area. I mean, maybe there's 2 or 3 families down there, but they're families. And they're usually, and the tables are significantly,
I was gonna say, when
Far
I've been
apart.
down done inspections, it's never been that full. There's usually
No.
been a mother and maybe a baby or maybe
yeah,
another
the baby pool is
toddler
not
with them or
typically,
something. I've never, you know, if you would have tons, you, of course, then you'd have to
Right.
ask them to either.
so we would probably limit like the daycares and stuff that come typically 2 or 3 times a week. We would not be able to do, like the group that goes down there, they bring a group of 12 kids, they wouldn't be able to come down. But I don't know that they would come anyway this year because of all the mandates they have. I don't know if they would even consider coming.
Or even if they had that many kids now.
Right, exactly.
How could I get them there?
Do they normally?
They walk normally,
Oh, do
yeah,
Do they normally contact you prior to coming down there?
yes.
Okay.
That's
so-
one of our things, they call us to let us know, like, we'll be coming tomorrow, or we're coming in 2 hours, you know, just,
So that would be something that you'd be able to discuss with them as far as
yeah.
making sure they didn't have, they were.
Or you could say, can you only bring 2, 3 kids this week and 3, or 3 this day, 3, you know, break them off too or something.
What's the turnaround, Jerry, of getting it, say if the board would say yes today, what is the turnaround time of getting it functional?
Are we looking at close to a month? Trying to get the chemicals in, get it drained, get it filled, cleaned, everything we do, set up.
Are there ways that we can help you with that?
Yes,
But
can
speed
you
up?
fast track that?
We do accept volunteers. I
Yes,
put
I was going to say this out.
a notice out to some of the public that have really wanted the pool about coming and volunteering and helping us get this ready to go.
Always the volunteers.
Okay, all right. We'll get you some volunteers.
That'd be different this year too, then, in the sense, you know.
Well, we always did have volunteers for Pioneer, they always helped us get all the equipment out, for example.
Yeah,
This year it didn't happen.
community day.
Well, we can take care of getting equipment out of the pool houses and stuff, I mean, we can help with all that.
I'd say if there's any way to expedite it, and Jerry, you can kind of think things through, maybe someone can do this, and then there's some overlapping things that maybe could be done coincidentally and still keep our social distancing.
So basically, we could be looking at the pool being open by maybe the 15th of June, which is only 2 weeks out of really the normal time.
Quite honestly, the first 2 weeks of June is usually not super warm anyways,
I
and
get it.
it's not our busy time.
Yeah.
Usually it's mid-June, and that's where we start to pick up, so.
We usually allow a week to get the water in, to get the chemicals
Get it
adjusted,
balanced
to
and,
get it warmed up a little bit.
Yeah.
When it first goes in, it's like 65 degrees or 40 degrees, whatever it is. It
Put
takes,
the heater on.
yeah. Heat it up.
Yeah, heater up there.
We'll heat it up with water treatment plant before we send it to you.
Yes, I'm entertaining motion.
Motion to rescind our decision to close the pool and a motion to open the pool by June 20th.
I'll second the motion. Or sooner.
Yeah.
Or sooner. Could we say or sooner?
Any more comments there? Discussion? I think we've discussed. Roll call?
Mr. Engel?
Oh, my kids are ready now. Yes.
Mr. Allen?
No.
Mr. Kiner?
Yes.
Mr. Rosinski?
Yes.
Mr. Downs?
Yes.
Did you announce that the motion passes?
Yeah, the motion passes.
Motion passes.
Since you're keeping the tab over there.
That's right.
Anything else? Talking about.
Was this announced only as the opening of the pool, Joe, do you know? Was it on the agenda?
I believe so.
We probably shouldn't discuss anything else, I suppose.
Do I?
They would probably won't discuss anything else, but I do have something I want to probably talk to you about after the finalizing that. I mean, adjournment.
Is there any motion for adjournment?
The only other thing, David, that we never discussed on the, pay on the pool side in our executive.
Oh, wages for the, you're right.
So we'll probably have to go on
Well, the next meeting will take care of
or
it.
we could take care of it next meeting.
It'll be
By the
before-
time.
Well,
Second week of June, it'll be close to being over. We can always make it retroactive, very late. I move that we adjourn.
second?
Roll call.
Mr. Engel?
Yes.
Mr. Allen?
Yes.
Mr. Kiner?
Yes.
Mr. Rosinski?
Yes.
Mr. Downs?
Yes.
Motion passes. Thank you very much for your input.
3:48.
Thanks for coming, Mayor.
So look at June
Don't
second.
leave, we got stuff to talk about.
June 2nd, is another meeting.
For the guy that has-
No,